Been doing research about people I call cultural creatives now since 1986. And there's been a change in the whole process that gives rise to a new kind of culture in the Western world. We've even found that the change has spread to Japan, interestingly enough. So at this point, what we are finding is that a very slow cultural change process has been going since probably late 1950s, early 1960s, but only 1 to 2% change a year in terms of number of people who adopt what I'm now calling cultural creativity. What do we do positively that moves the planet toward ecological sustainability, and what moves our own personal lives toward more consciousness on the one hand, more holistic way of seeing the world, seeing our lives, and perhaps more spirituality, more personal growth and development. Now, the change is holistic health on the one hand, and it's also an outward concern for ecology, concern for the threats to civilization from peak oil, which is about the total oil supply having come to its maximum and the cost of energy going way up. But also it's a shift in the number of people who get engaged in cultural creativity, trying new things, making social inventions, making cultural inventions. So we're feeling a sense of what's going to happen to my children, or if I'm old enough, to my grandchildren, and it's a great fear. At the very same time, there's a willingness to pitch in, to get involved, to try something new, to make a new way of life. And both are true at the same time. It's as if people are awakening to a process of civilizational change that is better and better and worse, faster and faster. And all of that is happening at once. I've come to the conclusion we're not just in an era of rapid social change, we're in a change of eras. We're going from the ending of the modern era to a new kind of planetary integration of cultures. And that new planetary integration of cultures is just as fundamental as the change at the Industrial Revolution or the change earlier at the Renaissance away from a medieval society. And so that's the kind of change we're looking at. Cultural creativity is moving through the population. You can identify people who are changing their lives so thoroughly that they belong to a new kind of culture. I call them cultural creatives. But look, it takes 10 to 15 years for each individual to change their life. So a huge number of people at any moment in time are in transition, somewhere along that transition period. In Europe, it looks like the least change has been 35% of the population has changed their way of life, changed their beliefs about what's real, changed their values. The most change has probably been in France at 45%. But in the range of 35 to 45% in every country we've done studies in. In the United States, it's now 33%. We're lagging behind the Europeans, but not by very much. In Japan, it's 35%. And so what appears to be true is that probably in every world city, Johannesburg, South Africa, Buenos Aires, Argentina, and Manila in the Philippines, pick a world city, and you're probably going to find about a third of the population is picking up concerns about the planet, picking up concerns about personal growth and development, women's concerns about what's going to happen to future generations and what's going to happen to our health and so on. All of these come in a big package that is a fundamental shift away from the getting and spending of modernism and away from the kind of scrunching down and trying to be safe of the traditionals. So it's away from rigidity on the one hand and away from materialism on the other.